Here we are. Welcome to sleepy Imperial, Pennsylvania on a Sunday morning. Gosh, there's actually a home up there. This is where we're going. DeStefano's. It was DeStefano's Performance Center. Now I think it's restoration. We're a little bit early. Hey, it's Dave from Bullpen Cycles. We had to leave the show early. We are on our way to Imperial, Pennsylvania to pick up a bike that I've been working on for a number of years, and it's finally done. You won't recognize this bike right away. I have to tell you the story. So this bike I originally found as a bare frame on Craigslist. I didn't even know what it was. It was advertised as a magnesium frame for a early 60s Sportster. That enough is intriguing. A magnesium frame. The story was that it had been raced by Larry Nance. It was an AHRA world record holder. Under 10 seconds in a quarter mile. There was a picture of a news article from Cycle World or Cycle Magazine in 1968, but no way to tell whether the frame was actually the frame from that bike or where the rest of the bike had gone. But I bought it. I thought, even as a wall hanger, a magnesium frame, heck, the frame with the swing arm and struts weighed 17 pounds. You could pick it up with 2 fingers. So even as a wall hanger, or maybe make a street bike out of it, I had to have it. So I drove down, I think it was like near Norristown, Pennsylvania, and I bought it. Of course, I went on eBay and I bought a copy of the magazine article, and I read all I could about Larry Nance. I kept coming up with some basketball player, but I found the Larry Nance. I found him in St. Joseph, Missouri. He's a hometown boy. That's where he lived when he was racing the darn thing. So let's see, this would have been 2016. He was racing in 68, 78, 88, 98, 08. 50 years later, he's still in the same hometown. He's still alive. I wrote him a letter, because that's what you do. You know, you can try to call people, but they won't pick up the phone. But old timers, you write a letter, you put a stamp on it, and that's what I did. I can't remember if he called me. I think he called me. And I made arrangements to go see him. I drove from Pennsylvania to St. Joseph, Missouri, just to show him this frame, to see if it was actually the frame from his bike. Now his bike, when he had it, He had the magnesium polished like chrome. But the frame I had was black. Someone spray painted it black. But it was magnesium. You can tell magnesium because when you put vinegar on a magnesium, on bare magnesium, it fizzes. It won't do that to aluminum. Larry confirmed that was his frame. He told me the story. He told me the story about how he crashed once. He built a magnesium axle, and I don't remember if it was a front axle. I think it was a front axle. Can you imagine running a magnesium axle? Magnesium is a light metal, but I don't know that it's the strongest thing around. Well, the axle broke and he crashed. He still raced after that, and he might have crashed after that, but his kids were born and his family didn't want to see him die, I guess. For his own safety and for the sake of his family, he sold the bike to Pat Powers, a guy that owned a local motorcycle shop in the area. I spent a lot of time talking to Larry, and he told me how he built the engine. It was a 62 or 61, they're right around there, Harley Davidson Sportster. He put an Alladora, an Aramaki Alladora front end on the Sportster. He had the frame made, specially made. You couldn't just make a shovel stir. There was no such thing as a shovel head top on a Sportster bottom because they hadn't invented the shovel head yet. That didn't come out till 66. So he couldn't remember where the cylinders came from, but I found them based on the pictures. I think they were Deutsch cheater cylinders. I got the cylinders. I got a vintage crank with the same numbers as he said. I found pistons. I asked him about his valves. He gave me some parts. He gave me a tire. Now this is 2016. He'd been saving some of these parts he had since he retired from racing. I don't know, 1969, 1970. I shared with him pictures. I had Mike Rizzo from Rizzo Fabrication. He's near, I guess, is it Coopersburg? If you need any fabrication work, that's where you go. He repaired the frame. You just can't weld magnesium. You catch it on fire and poof, your frame is done. I took the motor then to George Rotor Racing. His father's in the AMA Hall of Fame. They've been racing multiple generations their whole life. Now Larry told me it was stroked and he ran P cams. I found a set of those, and I found a set of P plus and P plus plus cams. I think George put in the P plus cams. Larry ran one gear, just a tall gear, high gear, that's all he needed. They started the bike on rollers and ran it. I think George put in a first gear, so we can at least move the bike around if we ever run it. So we're at Joe's waiting for the unveiling. Are you gonna open the overhead?
Yeah.
All right. I met Joe years ago. He was working on my Benelli triple, the carbon fiber one that I sold Nick. Oh, that's not it.
That's not it.
Ooh, I got a glimpse. There it is.
give me a quick hand at it.
Yeah. Man, look how tiny that is.
It is really low to the ground. You want to bring that stand?
Look at that. So this is, I'm talking for the video. This is the magnesium frame. These are the cheater cylinders. We had to put a spacer plate in, I think because we used the P++ cams. This is my Cheriani front wheel. It's a repop because I couldn't find an original one. These are Cheriani forks. Man, look how low that is. Now Larry had a magnesium seat pan, but I don't know where you're gonna get a sheet of magnesium anyway. Where'd you find the slick?
That was the one you...
Really?
So I said, you know, I couldn't find a 4-inch. So
Larry gave me that one. That's his tire? I gave you that?
Yep. So that's his tire.
I knew it was
I tried to bring it back.
dry rot. I'm amazed. I almost threw it out. So
Oh, my.
all those years he never threw out that tire. And now it's actually on the bike. That is amazing. It's hard to believe someone actually rode this. Wide open. Isn't that incredible? He told me a story where he made, I don't remember if it was a rear axle or a front axle. He made one out of magnesium.
That's what you were saying.
And of course it snapped and he crashed. Can you imagine what kind of balls you must have had to do that?
They were real men.
And then eventually his family didn't want him to die.
Right.
So that's why he stopped. Because he loved his family.
Yep.
I don't know what to say about it.
It's just too cool.
I just don't know what to say. So we are gonna go to, not this trip, but we're gonna go take it to St. Joseph, Missouri and show the family.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So tell us a little about what you had to do and what you had to overcome.
Well, made the steering stem so we could get the triples mounted up. I put a steering stop in because the only stop was the handlebars hitting the front head. Made the spacers to fit the wheel, brake stays, made cables. That's the lever assembly that you sent up for me.
Oh yeah? I can't remember where I got them.
And it worked really nice. And then made the throttle cable. I tried to make it look like what Larry had. And went with the Italian theme. So we got Tomaselli.
Oh yeah?
You
have to go like this. Tomaselli.
I have a guy that does aluminum welding for me. He's amazing. So we made the fuel cell and the oil tank. We put different brackets on instead of the hose clamps that Larry had on it. Just some spacers in the the rear wheel to make things line up. Found the sprocket and the drum, had that powder coated. We had, I had.
Did you make the backing plate?
No, that a friend of mine sadly just passed with cancer, but
Oh, that's another one.
he was the guy in the area everyone went to. He worked on old Harleys and really odd stuff, and so he found that for me, and then like I said, I sent it up, had it powder coated. We had Buchanan make new spokes.
I guess
polished the rim.
they needed that to get the adjuster in, huh? Is that how the adjuster works?
No, it's real close, but
Oh, okay.
they're just the standard, you know,
All right.
the chain pullers. So I had a pair of Sportster pipes with the slash cuts and everything, and it just didn't look right. So I cut the slashes off and took the modern brackets, mounts off the back, and used the old style hangers. You could see one like this in the picture that Larry had was up in here, but I couldn't tell what was going on because he was kneeling in the back.
Yeah, he didn't have many pictures of himself.
Yeah,
Was it tough getting this motor in this frame?
it was fun.
I wasn't sure it was gonna fit.
Yeah, it just made it. It's cool that you may have the original carb. I made a few odds
Yeah,
and ends here.
I'm hoping to see it. Yeah, when I get to St. Joe's.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, that's the right car, but he had made a bowl for his so it would have more capacity.
Right, it's
Maybe he,
friend of mine.
I'm guessing he just made a spacer. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, a friend of mine was saying, oh, he wanted to check the carb, he said, because Needengard's used to drag race. They're a big Harley dealer that just went out of business a few years ago. They were in business for over 100 years. And they used to drag race, and he said, check out the carb and see if he's got that spacer in there. So that must have been the thing, because they couldn't hold enough fuel. But yeah, I'm sure that the original one has the plate.
So I'm gonna sit on it. Oh, and it must be hard on the butt too. So where does he put his feet?
Straight back.
Oh my God. That's a young man. Oh, wow. Holy crow. It's like wants to fall over.
It's odd. It definitely feels odd.
Oh my gosh, and you gotta wear a cup.
Like I said, they were real men back
Oh
then.
my gosh. No wonder he quit racing.
Oh, that's
Oh.
great.
Well, let's take a look at your shop.
Well, it's kind of dirty.
What are you working on? Is that a Benelli again? No, it's not. Oh, it's a
No, it's a
Ducati.
Ducati.
Yeah, okay. I just saw the pipe coming up the...
No, he's still got one Benelli here, but
Oh, yeah.
kind of a mess.
Yeah, all right, well. Oh, and a Mako.
Yeah, I had two Makos in here, 72 and a 74. This friend of mine, Scott, races. He's got a whole stable full of vintage motocross bikes,